Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan. Since it's horror month, I'm looking at lots of horror movies, but just to mix it up, I'm going to look at a horror game. And I decided to look at Castlevania. Now, I could have looked at other horror games like Doom or Diablo. So why did I choose Castlevania? Just as an excuse to listen to that awesome music. Yeah, Castlevania isn't as well known as Donkey Kong or Halo, but it does have one of the best soundtracks in video game history. In the original game, which came out in 1986, the names in the ending credits are parodies of actors who have played iconic characters in horror movies. Christopher B is reference to Christopher Lee, who played Dracula. Boris Karloff references Boris Karloff, who played Frankenstein's monster and the Mummy. Lon Chaney, referencing Lon Chaney, who played the titular role in The Phantom of the Opera, and his son Lon Chaney Jr., who played the titular role in The Wolfman. Bram Stoker, who wrote Dracula. Trans Fishers, referencing Terence Fisher, who directed Dracula, and Max Schreck, referencing Max Schreck, who played Count Orlok in Nosferatu. And that is the first fact about the video game series, Castlevania. Let's dive in. The main character is Simon Belmont. In the original Castlevania, his name was misspelled as Simon Belmondo. The game was inspired by the Metroid series. I've already done a video about Metroid. I'll leave a link at the end of this video if you want to check that out. Since the game series revolves around Dracula, there's crosses all over the games. However, in the original game, the crucifixes had to be removed for the American release. Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest, came out in 1987. This game has a distinction of being the first video game ever to have multiple endings. The box art was copied from the Dungeons & Dragons Ravenloft module. It was changed for the European release to avoid legal problems. Dracula's grave reads 1431 to 76. This is the same year that Vlad the Impaler was born and died. Vlad Tepes is often believed to be the main inspiration for the character of Dracula. He actually isn't. I talked about this in my Dracula video. I'll leave a link at the end of this video. Also, do let me know if you want to do a video about Vlad the Impaler. Castlevania Symphony of the Night came out in 1997. Although the game wasn't very successful, it developed a large cult following and is now considered to be not only the best Castlevania game, but one of the greatest games ever made. The main character is Dracula's son, Alucard, which is Dracula backwards. He first appeared in Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Alucard is known as a Dhampir, a half-human, half-vampire. If Alucard remains seated for a long time, he will fall asleep, and visible Z's will appear around him. The name and appearance of the boss, Olrox, is based on Count Olrock from Nosferatu. The original title was going to be Castlevania The Bloodletting. In Japan, it's known as Demon Castle Dracula X Nocturne in the Moonlight. The creator wanted this game to be as long as possible, but the more content that was generated for the game, the more likely it would create game-crashing bugs. To get around this, the programmers decided to flip the game halfway through with new enemies, doubling the length of the entire game. The priest's garb is based on Dracula's robe in the 1992 film Bram Stoker's Dracula. In the Castlevania series, Dracula resurrects himself every 100 years. This is the first time he hasn't. He resurrects himself after only 5 years. In the Japanese version, it is said that Mariah is related to the Belmonts. In the English version, it says that she's not related to them. Hey, make up your mind! When you use the power of Sire, an image of Vlad the Impaler will appear for a split second. Castlevania Lord of Shadows came out in 2010. The Dead Knight scroll reads, "I can hardly declare that the cake is not a lie." This is a reference to the Portal series. There's a scroll in the second level of Resurrection that details the Beast of Ar. This beast is first mentioned in the comedy Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Castlevania the Animated Series was released on Netflix in 2017. The game's story is mainly based on Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Richard Armitage plays the hero, Trevor Belmont. Graham McTavish plays the antagonist, Dracula. Both of them played dwarves in the Hobbit trilogy. Richard Armitage played the main dwarf, Thorin, and Graham McTavish played Dwalin. Graham McTavish has done tons of video games, including Uncharted, so he's a great voice actor, and his voice as Dracula is phenomenal.
You took that which I love, so I will take from you everything you have, and everything you have ever been.
The show did so well, it picked up a second season of 8 episodes after only a few days of season 1 being released. The Grim Reaper is a recurring boss throughout the series. And for the final fact, in the Japanese version of Super Castlevania 4, Dracula's tombstone is misspelled as Dracula. I know the L's and R's get mixed up when Japanese is translated to English, but come on! How can you screw up his name? He's like the most famous character in anything. Thanks for watching, don't forget to subscribe. Please let me know if there's any other horror video games you want me to do a video about, and I'll upload it as soon as possible. To learn more facts, check out my books on Amazon. They're available on paperback and Kindle. Thanks for watching. See you again.